Imagine a continent of empires so wealthy that kings walked on streets paved with gold. Imagine cities filled with libraries, universities, and thriving trade routes stretching across the ancient world. Now imagine all of that, forgotten, buried under centuries of myths, lies, and silence. This is the untold story of Africa before the chains. When people think of Africa, what do they picture? Too often the answer is struggle, poverty, or colonial history. But long before these scars were carved into the land, Africa was home to some of the richest and most powerful civilizations the world has ever seen. Let's travel back to the heart of West Africa, where the Empire of Mali rose to breathtaking heights. In the 14th century, Mali wasn't just a kingdom, it was a superpower. And Mansa Musa, the ruler of Mali, he wasn't just a king, he was the richest man who ever lived, richer than any modern billionaire. His empire thrived on gold, and I mean that literally. Mali's gold fueled economies across Europe, the Middle East, and Asia. Picture this. In 1324, Mansa Musa embarked on a legendary pilgrimage to Mecca. His caravans stretched as far as the eye could see. 60,000 people, hundreds of camels, all carrying so much gold that it disrupted economies along the way. This was Africa, a land of prosperity and ambition. But Mali wasn't just about gold. In the ancient city of Timbuktu, there were libraries filled with tens of thousands of manuscripts, works of science, law, poetry, and philosophy. Scholars from across the world came to study here. This was a place where knowledge was sacred, where learning flourished. Think about that for a moment. While Europe was crawling out of the Dark Ages, Africa had universities. This is the heritage that history books too often forget. And Mali was just one story. Across the continent, other great civilizations rose. The Kingdom of Kush, builders of massive pyramids. Yes, pyramids larger in number than Egypt itself. The trading cities of East Africa, where Swahili merchants connected Africa to India, China, and beyond. In the Benin Kingdom, famous for its advanced bronze sculptures that dazzled the world. Africa wasn't isolated. It was a hub of trade, culture, and technology. Its people created sophisticated societies, navigated oceans, and mastered metallurgy long before outsiders arrived. So why have these stories been hidden? Why do so few people know about Africa's golden age before slavery? The reasons are complicated, rooted in colonialism and narratives that serve to justify oppression. But today we have the power to reclaim this history. This isn't just about the past. It's about pride. It's about breaking down stereotypes and understanding that African history is human history, full of triumph, innovation, and brilliance. The next time someone tells you that Africa's story began with slavery, tell them this. Long before chains, there were kings and queens. Long before conquest, there were empires. Long before sorrow, there was glory. Let's rediscover it together. Like, share, subscribe, and keep the story alive.